Dear students of class 10th, today we will revise lesson number 1 of geography. Name of the chapter is Resources and Development. So today we will discuss or revise resource conservation. So with regard to the resource conservation, what I told you in the previous video, planned use of resources in order to meet present needs and to store a part for the future generation is called resource conservation. What has been mentioned here. So with regard to the need for resource conservation, some of the points I have added here. Many resources are non-renewable and exhaustible. If we conserve them, we can use them for a longer period of time. Conservation of resources help us to reduce wastage and it will help in economic progress. Resource conservation helps us to protect the environment. So these are some of the needs or the requirements for the conservation of resources. When we are talking about conservation of resource, it is the management and judicious use of resources for sustainable benefit of development to present generation and to meet the requirement of future generation without harming the environment in the form of pollution and exhaustion of resources. In recent past, we had been concerned with the exploitation of natural resources, but we have not paid any attention for their conservation. Today, we are concerned about the environment and making efforts to conserve it. Here, we can take the example of statements given by Mahatma Gandhi regarding the conservation of resources. So Gandhiji remarked, there is enough for everybody's need and not for anybody greed. So these words are true. We need to reduce or control materialism in every sphere of life and encourage healthy competition without pressurizing resources. The next statement is also very important. What is given by Mahatma Gandhi, greedy and selfish individuals and exploitive nature of modern technology are the root cause for resource depletion. He was against mass production and wanted to replace it with production by masses. So we can conserve resources in following ways. First one, judicious and proper use and management of resources. Use of second step, what we can take, use of recycling resources and non-exhaustible sources of energy. Develop substitutes for the use of resources, example, use of aluminium in place of copper and brass. Next point, reckless and inappropriate exploitation of resources should be checked. Wastage at any step of production, processing and consumption should be checked. Recycling and treating the waste material. So when we are talking about conservation of resources, here sustainable development, what we discussed in the previous video, that is also very important. So when we are talking about sustainable development, regarding sustainable development, the Earth Summit held in June 1992 at Rio de Janeiro, Brazil in South America discussed for the first time issues concerning our environment. The Earth Summit was attended by over 150 heads of the state and NGOs. It adopted Agenda 21, which reflects the concern of the delegates. For the first time, the focus was on sustainable development. The conference was organized by United Nations Conference on Environment and Development. The declaration under Agenda 21 stated: first point, environmental damage, poverty, and diseases need to be combated. There is need for global cooperation on common interest and shared responsibilities. Third point, we should not compromise with the needs of the future generation. Another point, the major objective should be to draw local Agenda 21 or act locally and think globally. So these were the important elements which were included in Agenda 21. So next part of this chapter we will revise in next video.